the orientation of the video, but it's just easier to hold the phone this way and see it. This is RJ Carter, and a couple of days a week I make the drive through Beaver, Arkansas, and I cross over what they call the Golden Gate Bridge. It's a very large suspension bridge. It goes across this section of Table Rock Lake, and we'll see it in a little bit here because at the side of the bridge there's a little parking area where people can just pull over if they're going to hike this little trail. And since this is the first day in forever that it hasn't been above 90 degrees, I decided to see where this trail ends. Well, it ends right here. You can't go any further without walking on water. Sorry, it's trademark and copyright, Zach. There's a, it'll be very shaky if I zoom in on it, but there's a little heron out there in the water. I may have to come back here with some bread next time, because I have seen, before I started the thing up, some turtle heads that popped up and sensed me and popped right back down. But I figured, you know, we'd start here with the sun at our back, and we would take the trail back towards the car. Beautiful mountain terrain here in the Ozarks. Lake is very, very clean. A lot of people fishing on the other side of the bridge. Nobody's down here, even though you can walk to the edge of the lake and get some fishing done. Nice little rock path here, a couple of benches along the way now and again. And it's about a half a mile walk. Pretty shady, a lot of trees hanging over it. Listening to little animals skitter off the side of the path as I walk by. Most of them newts or lizards or skinks. No rattle sounds, so I'm not worried about rattlesnake. Look at that tree. Four trees growing out of the same root system right there. That's, I don't know, I get fascinated by simple stuff when I'm out in the woods by myself just looking. Especially when we get up to where these rocks are. A lot of this is built on mountains, and inside mountains a lot have been cut away. Just a bunch of wood fall from storms. And I know it's debris and it's flotsam, and down there's jetsam, but again, I just like looking at it. Rock outcropping out there. I know there's a place you can walk out onto that. You wanted to sit out and just look at the lake for a while. These rocks get me, and I'm not a geologist. I don't understand how this all works, but I mean, it looks like giant bricks were laid there. It doesn't look like one big stone was just, you know, this mountain and things carved out of it. It really looks like somebody built it. Like they just stacked one flat rock on top of another flat rock until the bigger flat rocks were on top. There's probably a perfectly natural process that can be explained and duplicated in a lab somewhere, but I like to think it's a ancient civilization structure that's crumbled away into something unrecognizable and is now all calcified. So, a little off the side of the path, step up here. Oh, scared something over there. Oh, yep, there's some lizards running across the top of the rock. Another little path over there if you were the adventurous kind. It's a nice outlook at the lake over there. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and today, being Sunday and sitting behind the computer like I do every other day, I finally kicked myself in the butt enough to get up and say, go out and see the world, do a little walking, get your legs circulating, burn a few calories. God knows I could do that. Okay, now look at this. I see this a lot around here. This rock has holes in it, and they're deep holes. And you're like, what's in that hole? Because this isn't mud. This is, this is stone. So I guarantee you though, you can see, well, you can't see, but it goes in there and it opens up into something hollow. I'm not going to find out what might be using that as the back door to a home. Lots of little holes on the side there. You've got somebody doing a little bit of graffiti out here. That's nice. Can't just leave it unspoiled. You can see the bridge just off in the distance there. It's not too far away, but it's not very clear yet. That is the, like I said, they painted it yellow, so they call it the Golden Gate Bridge of Beaver. You can actually find that on YouTube if you were to look up Beaver, Arkansas Suspension Bridge Tour Bus. Look up that video because this is a suspension bridge. It's a one-lane bridge, so you can't have cars passing on it. You can only take one car at a time in either direction. So you got to stop, look to see if anybody's coming. If there's nobody coming, then you can go. But a few years back, a tour bus stopped at it and decided that, yeah, they can go on it. And it got caught on video because people have phones and people knew that the driver was an idiot. And you could see the bridge bow and dip toward the water under the weight of it. And they actually had to close the bridge down after that to be inspected, to make sure that everything was undamaged on it. And they just did some repairs on it earlier this year as well, so it's in tip-top shape. Earlier this year we had quite a bit of rain, and you'll be able to tell a little bit more when we get closer to it how high it is above the water. But when we had all those rains, I was driving over it and you couldn't even get a jet ski under it without bumping your head. The water had gotten that high, which means it was probably up on this path at that point. Just stop and take in all the lake that we've walked past. Table Rock Lake is ginormous. If you look it up on a map, it starts in Missouri and heads south into Arkansas. I could technically get on a boat right here and get off in Branson, Missouri, which is about an hour away driving. Well, can't ever catch a fish on video when they pop their head up. By the time I see them splashing down, it's too late to turn. Yeah, for all my friends in comics who make the convention tours or live in the area, this would be a cool place to come when we're not doing the con. either the day before or the day after, there is or was a biker bar right up at the end of the trail here where we'll get off and stop. It's right on the edge of the lake where people park their RVs and set up tents and camp. In fact, you can see some people fishing at the edge of the bridge down there. They pull over and stand out there. And just these giant cliff faces here. When I started walking down the other direction from my origin point at the bridge, a big truck went over and you could hear the suspension squeaking like an old swing set in a haunted playground as each of those suspensions were rocking and doing what they do. So I live up somewhere in that area right there, on top of that mountain on the other side of them trees. I could have walked down to the lake to walk this trail, but well, it would take me about an hour to get here. It's a winding path. I'm not in any hurry getting back. Hopefully the camera's not shaking too much while I walk and carry it. Look at this, it's just, rocks just jut out like flat steps. Like you could just have big enough, tall enough legs, you could just use them like stairs. I've seen some around here that are much more human friendly in their stair formation. There's a firehouse a little bit further down the road that has a lookout point. I pulled over there and taken some shots during the time of the year when the eagles are here circling in the sky. Let's look down here. I wouldn't try that. A little dangerous. I wonder if I could find a flat rock though. Bit of a wedge to it. Nope, I'm too far up. It's just gonna plunk. It's not gonna skip. All these rocks are kind of blockish, not flat enough. It's been years since I've stood on the side of a lake and skipped rocks. Yeah, I don't have I'm not parallel enough to the water surface. Yeah, next time I'll bring half a loaf of stale bread or something and just find a good spot to sit and toss it in and see if I can't get fish to just come around and feed. Please stream a fishing show. Well, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that. Get my license, get some gear. Here's the thing, I can I can go fishing, I can catch fish. God help me if I catch them though, because I never went fishing as a kid, was never taken. Well, I was taken, but we always took the fish to somebody else after that. So I never got any hands-on experience with cleaning fish. So catching fish would be kind of like a dog chasing a car. I don't know what to do with them after, except put them in an aquarium. And they wouldn't like that much. Oh, there's a nice little alcove of rocks. Look at that. You just start stepping up here. Just keep going. You can top that off and go into the woods. And again, look at the layers. It's like they're cracks that go deep. This isn't a rock that fissured. I mean, if it fissured parallel and evenly. What causes that to happen? That is so cool. Oh, that'll get me a copyright strike, I'm sure. I'm getting close enough to the bridge now that if anything goes across it, we might actually get to see a little bit of the Boeing action. That sounds sufficiently big. Let's see what we get. Okay, well, physically here I can see it rock. I don't know if it translates to the video or not, because it's very subtle. But I can hear the squeaking of the suspensions. I am not in the greatest of shape. That is my own fault. So having taken this probably half a mile down there, half a mile back, I'm not out of breath, but it's really hurting my lower back. I'll be happy to sit in the driver's seat again. But if I do it more frequently, I'm sure that is a muscle that'll get worked out. Turn the camera around. Why would like this? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see the fat guy huffing and puffing with the sun behind him. But it's not like it's a face reveal or anything, right? Oh. So here we are is where the trail began, where I got on. And over here, this little brick building is a bit of a historical monument. We'll walk over to that. That is the Beaver Spring. And it's not named after all the beavers that were here, as one might think. But it was actually the gentleman's last name who founded the town. Well, here's the little sign for it. We'll just stop and read this. This stone Beaver Spring house was built circa 1912. It replaced a log house built over the spring, purportedly by Wilson A. Beaver. Beaver purchased the land in 1857 from John Williams, who homesteaded the land in 1852. The Indians and settlers living on the White River used the spring for many years. The Beaver Spring was purchased in 1932 by Albert and Dewey French. The U.S. Corps of Engineers acquired it in 1950 when Table Rock Dam was begun. Yeah, there is a big dam around here. A lot of interesting houses. Look at this. Look at this house built basically on a cliff overlooking the lake. This looks like some kind of a castle. And I don't say that lightly because there is a place that actually advertises that it builds castles. I'm talking like with minarets and towers and everything. This is the building itself, of course, that we were talking about. Water tables are very, very low. It doesn't really spring anymore. I was over here just a little bit ago and looking. It's nothing in there but mud now. And you know, it's locked. It's got a wire cable around it to keep people from going in, and I guess defacing it. I mean, it's got a great grating up there, all stone inside. But anyway, that is the end of the trail for me. The beginning of the trail that I walked. This is the end of the bridge, and like I said, just right there you can see the little okay, so when you come across the bridge, that road goes towards the beach and the RV area. This road goes around and then on up into Eureka Springs, Bentonville, Rogers. That little two-story stick out there used to be a place called the Sidebar. I don't think it's open anymore. It was open last year. Went there and had a beer and a pizza. Went back this year. I've never seen it open, so I think they finally went under. Not sure if that's true or not. A lot of people camping just across the grass over there, down on the edge of the lake. And me, I'm gonna go back home and see what I can get for dinner. So thank you all for joining me on this little nature journey. If you liked it, well, let me know and maybe I'll do it again. It's a nice departure from sitting around and talking about comic books in a chair. Get out here and touch grass, as the men say. So with that, thanks. I'll talk to you later.